So, Charles, before we begin, I'm going to go through everything on the paper again, just so we're clear, okay? Okay. So, your name is Charles Fiamma, and the reason you have come here today is to learn the date of your death.
Yes.
All right. As stated on the form, my power is to know when people are going to die. This happens.
I love the concept. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And I think anybody who watches it would be like, if I could know the date I was going to die, would I? Would I want to know? It's a really interesting thing to think about, and what a fascinating gift that she has. And, you could kind of tell throughout the film, like something was off. And when we realized she knows the death and it's sooner than we think. And when we realized it was the last time that she was going to see her sister, that scene where she was sitting against the door with the car keys was just heartbreaking. And it was such a beautiful performance from the actress. Just knowing that you have to say goodbye, but not being able to say goodbye in the way that you want to, because you don't want to tip them off about what's about to happen, and you want them to be able to enjoy their last moments. So really emotionally heavy and relatable, and obviously a situation that probably doesn't happen to most people, but you can definitely feel the emotions and the inner turmoil of our main character, of what she has to go through, and this gift, which is a double-edged sword, which can actually also be a curse, knowing when all of the people you love are going to pass, and maybe even yourself.
Starts off with a really great opening scene, and it's then followed by 10 minutes or even more of really kind of quiet, heartbreaking suspense is really the only way I can describe it. The film has a pretty interesting concept, and it does something interesting with it. It makes the most of this really great premise. While the central conflict of the film does become clear and kind of predictable about halfway through the film, I think that's deliberate. I don't think that's a bad thing, because it adds to that suspense. You know how this story has to end, but you're more watching to see how the characters deal with it. Specifically, the lead character, see how she deals with things. The two leads here do a great job of playing off of one another, which I think really contributes to how well the film lands emotionally in its final moments.
The premise, for starters, what a brilliant idea. That idea alone, and just her journey, her struggle dealing with it, feels like something that could be a series. To have that sort of rogue power, to know that about somebody just by touching them, how does that affect her relationships? Well, we see it right here. This is a great taste. I feel like it could even serve almost as a pilot. Really strong work. Performances were great. The writing was fantastic. Everything about this just screams go to series. Really smart work.
Does a very great use of Chekhov's gun. We learn at the beginning of the short that our main character has the ability to accurately guess the date of someone's death. Doesn't know the time, doesn't know how it'll happen. They just know that on that date, the person's going to die. And it does a very good job of hiding that fact, even though it tells you right at the beginning. Mainly because you don't know whether or not she's being truthful, or if she is conning the person that she's gaining this money from. Which brings up a very interesting question of, what would you do if you knew today was your last day on Earth? She tries to do everything in her power to prevent this death, but like she said, it's unavoidable. And it's a very interesting and, thought-provoking concept. Someone's about to die. They don't. What would you do with that knowledge?
The chemistry between these two characters is seamless. The supernatural elements seem mundane here, which is an interesting tactic to take with the magic of it all, but it shows something that is inevitable, which is death. The home had character, even though I wish there was a moment in the room when we are and aren't being told that this character is going to die. I like the dynamics between the characters, the one with powers, the other not wanting the use of the gift. She has this to carry this dark secret with her.
The premise is definitely very interesting, and the first few seconds of the film definitely had me hooked, to say the least. So while the premise was really good, I also thought that the performances were actually even better. The performances were pretty solid. They were very believable. So kudos to the actresses.